office. Today I want to give you a tour around my home office. I work from home, I'm a remote worker, so I spend a lot of time in here, and I figured it was about time that I show you around my workspace. If you're new to my channel, then hello, I'm Charlie. I am a web designer. I work remotely for an email marketing software company called ConvertKit, which is based in America, but I live here in London. And this office is in the second bedroom of our 2-bedroom apartment. I've been working remotely for about 2.5 years now, and it was about 6 months ago that we moved in here into this 2-bedroom apartment so that I could have a separate office for my work. Previously my workspace was just in a little nook in our living room, and I found I was spending all of my time in that one room, which was, yeah, it was really getting to me. So I've loved having this office to work in. It's pretty small, but it serves my needs perfectly, and yeah, let's get into it and show you around, and I suppose we should start with the entrance. One of the first things you see when you walk into my office is my 100k subscribers plaque from YouTube. I kind of wondered if it was a bit narcissistic to hang this up on the wall, but then someone said that it kind of acts as like a nameplate to my office because it's got my channel name right there, and I am incredibly proud of it. So yeah, I figured why not put it up on the wall. To start getting into the details, I suppose we should start at the desk because this is, you know, the workspace itself and where I spend most of my time sitting at or standing at, because this desk is a hand crank standing desk. I've had it for a couple of years now because I like to be able to stand half the day while I'm working. I think it's really good for keeping concentration, good for your body as well, to not sit down all of the time. So I've got a standing mat that I use when I'm standing up. It's just a bit of protection for your feet, so your feet don't get fatigued so easily. It's called an anti-fatigue mat. And yeah, this desk is a hand crank one. It's not one I'd recommend, to be honest. The company I bought it off, I wasn't super impressed with their service. Quality leaves a little bit to be desired, I think. This crank here at the side, like, comes out all the way accidentally, so I have to be careful when I'm winding it up and down. But it does the job and lets me stand for half the day. Usually I'll stand in the morning and sit in the afternoon. When I do sit, this is a recent addition to my office, this chair. This is a Herman Miller mirror chair. I bought it secondhand off eBay because these chairs are bloody expensive to buy brand new, but you can usually get a lot of like refurbished ones. People will like buy them up from offices and things that are liquidating and yeah, refurbish them and sell them on. So this, I think, was a really good buy. It's a super good chair, would definitely highly recommend it. I will say right now my desktop is looking pretty clear, and I have to be honest, it doesn't always look like this. This is its usual state by the end of the week. I try and clean it up every weekend and start the new week, you know, on a fresh, clear desk note, but yeah, it just gets messy again very quickly. The computer that I work on is also refurbished, just like the chair. It's from the Apple official refurbished store. It's an iMac Pro, and yeah, buying it from that refurbished store just makes it that little bit cheaper than buying it at the full store price. For as well as I think Apple things are designed, I think iMacs in particular, like, this base is not tall enough. I've always needed to put an iMac on something to get my eye line at a good level, you know, for working at. This here is a pretty minimal, nice little iMac stand that I think Mark bought from eBay. It's just like a piece of bent perspex basically, but yeah, looks pretty sleek. Another new addition to my desk is this wrist pad here. I love working with a trackpad. I can't go back to using a mouse. This wrist pad just helps the trackpad be a little bit more ergonomic and stops my wrist getting sore. The other thing that is always on top of my desk and that I'll always find no matter the mess is my bullet journal. I've made a whole video about how I use the bullet journal system to stay productive and stay organized. I love it, been using it. This is the third journal that I've had. And yeah, it really does help me plan my day and stay on top of things. So that is always sitting here to my left, so that I have this running to-do list of what I need to do during the day. This lamp over here is from IKEA. I don't use it very often, but I like the way it looks, so I keep it around. And this here is a little plaque that our CEO Nathan made for everyone on the team at ConvertKit. It says, "We exist to help creators earn a living," and that is like our company mission statement. I think it's really cool to have something that has been handmade and that it just reminds me basically what I'm working for and why I do the work that I do. I've also always got some sort of beverage on my desk. Usually it's a cup of tea or coffee. Today it's my Hydro Flask water bottle, and I have this coaster here that I love. It's a little record, which I think is super cute. On the right hand side of my desk is a set of IKEA Alex drawers. Very useful. They hold a lot of stuff, probably too much stuff. Basically in here is where I keep things like pens, pencils, stationery. I've got technology stuff, all my screen printing inks for when I'm making a run of prints. And then like, well, miscellaneous is really the only way I can describe this bottom drawer. On top of the Alex drawers, I have this lovely calendar that my friend Alexis gave me for my birthday. It's filled with pictures that have been taken on my travels. I think it's really cute with this brushed gold easel that it sits on. Tried to have some form of like cord organization at the back here with all my plugs, but yeah, it doesn't always succeed. And that is a little bucket of batteries that I need to take in to the battery recycling thing in the supermarket. I have my podcasting microphone here on an arm. It just makes it really easy to like pull the microphone out when it's time to record, and I keep the cord for it always plugged into the iMac, so I just gotta grab that out and plug it into the mic. And I also use this as like a makeshift headphone hanger as well. These are my Bang & Olufsen H6s, which I love. Now that my partner Mark works from home as well, I sometimes will put headphones on because I want to play my music loud sometimes and it's obnoxious to do that through the speakers, so headphones it is. But yeah, that's pretty much everything on this side of the room. The wall over here is pretty bare. I'm kind of thinking now that maybe I should have hung my prints up above my computer so that I can see them more often, but then maybe that'll also be distracting. I don't know. But speaking of prints, let's go look at them on the other wall now. I love a good gallery wall, and I especially love typographic prints, as you can probably tell from what I've got hanging up here behind me. I've been collecting these and really trying to invest in art from people I admire, from friends who are super talented, and prints that have messages that I really believe in as well. So this is the collection that I've built up so far. I'm trying to go for this black, white, grey and yellow theme in this office. I guess I should do a quick rundown of where I got these prints from. So this one here I picked up at Adobe Max at one of the market stalls. It's by a Durham brand. I'll link all these artists and designers down below in the description as well. This one is by my friend Terrence Tang, Tinlan on Instagram. Love that print, love that design. I have it as a sticker on my computer as well. This one up here is one I've had in my workspace for a really long time. I love this, the creative process. I got given this by Dan Edwards after a talk that I went to of his. I can't remember what conference I was at now, but yeah, he handed up prints at the end, and I don't think he sells these online yet, but I really think he should because I love this. It is so accurate. This big yellow one in the middle is by Anthony Burrell. I have wanted a screen print of his for so long, like so many years, and I especially love the message behind this one. I wasn't originally going to get yellow. I thought that I should get maybe one that was white and black because it would like go in whatever room and it would like move with me over the years. But I thought, you know what? I just freaking love this yellow one, so let's do it. Let's have a bright yellow print as the centerpiece of my office. Moving back over here, this one is by Jessica Heish. She's like my design idol, so I specifically wanted a piece of art from her on the wall, and I just love the lettering and the message of this print. This one is by my friend Eric, known as F. on Instagram. It's part of his The Optimist project, which I will leave a link to in the description. You should go check it out. It's a beautiful story. I love it so much, and I definitely consider myself an optimist, so I love having this on my wall. And this one here at the top is actually one of my own screen prints, so just a little bit of a self-plug there. You can go check out my story in the description. This IKEA Kallax shelf is the only other main bit of storage that's like on show in the room. We bought this mostly because it's a really good shelf for having records. This is our record collection and have our record player sitting up the top here. But we decided to get the bigger one so that our Wafdale speakers could sit in either side on the ends here, and we just have a few more like spaces for storage because in small London apartments you really need all the storage that you can get. I really love having a record player in my office. I find it really nice just to work while a vinyl is playing sometime. My criteria for buying vinyl is that it has to be an album that I love listening to in full because it's not super easy to skip a song when it's playing on a record. A recent addition that I just got is Melodrama by Lorde. Love her, love this album, and love pretty much every single song on it, so it just makes it a perfect candidate for playing on the record player. Our record player is a Lanco one, and the amplifier that we've got it attached to is this super old JVC one that I think Mark has had since like the 90s. When we were figuring out the storage solution thing, we knew it was gonna like take up a lot of space to have both of these things sitting next to each other. There wouldn't be any room for me to keep like my pictures and things like that. So we put together this DIY solution with some like legs, and this is just like a shelf, and screwed them all together, and now the record player can sit above the amplifier. Next to the record player itself is this record holder that my sister gave me for, I think it was Christmas one year, maybe a birthday, I can't remember. But when I buy a new record and I haven't listened to it yet, I put it up there so that I remember that that's the next one that I should play. Next to the record player, we've got another just single Kallax with a shelf insert. This is where I put my MacBook Pro and my little MacBook for when I'm working on the go. And on top of that is a Wi-Fi router and a HomePod. If I'm playing music out loud from Spotify or something on my computer, then I will play it through the HomePod. And I can also do this. Hey Siri, turn the office lights off. On this bottom row of the shelf here, these two drawers, I was going to paint them yellow. We've even got the paint sitting right here. I was going to match to the print that I've got above, but I don't know, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I don't know if I can be bothered, but the idea was there. It's the thought that counts, right? I was also going to put this in. This is an IKEA wireless charger for my phone, but again, don't know if I can be bothered right now. This white box here is also marked stuff, and then over here we've just got some vinyl singles and yeah, bits and pieces. This is a little connection to hang a skateboard up on the wall, this skate kitchen one that I have sitting behind me. But yeah, because we're renting, we can't really drill this into the wall to attach it just yet, so yeah. And then the last thing on this shelf here is my printer, which I admittedly don't use that often, but it is handy to have around. There's not a whole lot of like surface space in the office for me to put little knickknacks and things on, which is probably good because I'd just mess it up like I do my desk, but I really do make use of this tiny little corner of the Kallax here for that sort of thing. I've got this frame at the back which has photos of my sister and I taken in a photo booth in Brighton. Then this is my light box. I don't think it actually has batteries in it at the moment, but I do like being able to put little messages in here, and I like this one, now press repeat, sitting next to a record player. It's kind of ironic because you can't really press repeat on a record, can you? Another very self-serving piece in my office is this award. I won an award at our company retreat last year for being a continuous learner. Unfortunately it broke in our move, but we glued it back together again because I'm very proud of it. And then these cacti, maybe dead, not sure. My sister left them in my care when she left London, and yeah, they sit there and add a little bit of something to the room, but I'm not very good at taking care of them. So in between the two walls that we've just covered, the desk on this side and then the Kallax with the print wall on this side, there's this wall of floor-to-ceiling windows, which is great, brings in a lot of natural light. And then there is my pride and joy, my stage piano. I bought this in the Black Friday sale because I've been thinking about learning to play piano for a very long time. I did keyboard lessons when I was a kid and a teenager, played in high school, but yeah, hadn't played for many years, and it's just a skill that I've always really wanted to have. So I bought this as an attempt to have a hobby that gets me off a computer, not looking at a screen. And then what I've gone and done is found this wonderful app called Flowkey, which is a subscription service that has like a bunch of lessons and teaches you songs, and I really love it. It's really helping me learn how to play. Unfortunately, that means I am looking at a screen a lot of the time while I'm playing piano, but I think it's still really good for me to like use my brain in a different way, you know. Then the last thing to show you in this terrible lighting is the back wall of the office, which is these cupboards. This is our wardrobe potentially in the house, because in our bedroom there is a cupboard, it just has shelves. This is where our hanging space is. So we keep all of our like jackets and you know, stuff that needs to hang up in here. This is also where I keep all of my filming equipment. I've got my LED light in here, so my tripod lives when I'm not filming on it. In the future, I would love to have an office space where I could permanently have a light set up and a tripod set up, so just make it easier to film videos, but yeah, this room is way too small for that. On top of the wardrobe up here is where I keep my screens for screen printing, and it's also where we keep just a lot of like excess stuff, like boxes of things, cords, cables, stuff like that. Also Dominion, which is one of my favourite board games. Highly recommend. On the other side here are the cupboards. We've got pretty much the same thing where there's a hanging bar, but we also have these drawers. To be honest, I think we could do away with them, but it is kind of handy to have a place to put things like my hairdryer, you know, filing, paperwork, things like that. This is also where I keep packaging materials for sending out my prints. And that's what all these tubes are hanging out next to the drawers as well. And that brings us to the end of my office tour. You've seen my workspace now. I hope you enjoyed having a look around and seeing how I work. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you're a fellow remote worker, I'd love to hear how my workspace compares to yours. Do you have an office room? Do you just work in the living room? Do you have a desk even, or do you just work at the dining table? I don't know, there's so many different ways to do remote work, but I find that having an office, having a separate room to focus on work is absolutely ideal for me. If you are new to my channel, if you've not seen a video from me before, then please hit the subscribe button, because I make new videos about design, about remote working, productivity, all that sort of stuff every single week, and I'd love to have you back here for the next one. Alright, I'll see you then.